Noel Gallagher has hit out at his brother Liam's claims that he cried during his performance at the We Are Manchester fundraising concert on Saturday night. Speaking to Radio X presenter Chris Moyles on Tuesday, he insisted although he was emotional he did not actually cry, despite his brother's proclamations that the performance was a PR stunt, and claimed Noel does not give a F about the show. Noel performed alongside the High-Flying Birds at Saturday night's gig, which marked Manchester Arena's first event following the tragic bombing that killed 23 in May, and despite an emotional appearance, he insisted he did not break down. At the performance, Noel was seen belting out a string of Oasis hits before he seemed to break down during his performance of Don't Look Back in Anger, a song which quickly became an anthem of defiance in the days after the attack. Addressing the 14,000-strong crowd beforehand, he said through tears, "Every time you sing, we win." So sing like you've never sang before. After the show, Liam, 44, took to Twitter after the gig to call the performance a PR stunt and claim his brother does not give a F. Noel swiftly defended himself as he told Chris, "I wasn't actually crying. I actually promised myself before I went on, because you've kind of got to detach yourself from it, because it's very easy to kind of get caught up in the moment, and when you see other people crying and people in the stands and that. And I've done it at normal gigs, where you've just got to switch off. I read somewhere that I was crying, but no, I'm sorry to say I wasn't crying. It's the only time I've ever got nervous before going on stage. I never, ever get nervous, and I never have done, as the night was coming up to my bit. I didn't go on till, maybe it's because I went on late, I didn't go on until 10:30, and because of Don't Look Back in Anger, and what it became around that, I was kind of thinking, I hope you're kind of worthy of the moment. And I shouldn't have worried a bit. Actually, you just play the first note and, bring the house down, and that was it." But it was good, the victims and survivors were honored, and then we all hung out after and had a great time. We had a good laugh. A representative for Noel and Liam has been contacted by mail-in line for comment. After the emotional performance, Liam immediately took to Twitter to blast his performance as a sham. Suggesting his siblings' tears were fake, Liam wrote furiously to fans, and she broke down in tears, "Come on, you seriously ain't buying that he doesn't give a F." Sick, having blasted Noel for not joining him at the One Love Manchester fundraiser earlier this year, Liam went on in rage, "Don't buy into his PR stunt, he doesn't give a F," before adding, "If the same thing have gone of in Edinburgh, he'd been up there like a shot of ham." The latter was no doubt a dig towards Noel's second wife Sarah McDonald, who he married in 2011 and hails from Scotland. Clearly still at loggerheads with the couple, following his original fallout with Noel in 2009, Liam went on the angrily blast his partner Sarah and insinuate she was a second-rate version of his first wife Meg Matthews. He added, "Sarah, whatever your name is, "Don't ever come for me with Jeff's silly stupid haircut, as you'll get put down as you will," before adding scathingly, "You're just a ST Meg, as you were LG's Noel Meg, divorced in 2001 on the grounds of his adultery with PR girl Sarah." Although the rocker later denied this and revealed he went along with the cheating accusations to speed up their separation. In one last blow, Liam then replied to a fan who was quick to praise Noel for his heartfelt performance at the charity gig. Responding to a follower who wrote, "BTW, your brother smashed the Manchester concert tonight X," Liam slammed Noel for not joining him on stage at the One Love gig in June, writing, "Course he did, about a 6 months too late, as you were sick." Liam had taken to the stage alone at Ariana's fundraising gig earlier this summer and had been quick to criticize Noel then for not joining him for an Oasis reunion on stage. At the time, the Wonderwall hitmaker had called his brother a sad F and said he's made it clear that a reunion is not at the top of his priorities, and right now it's not the top of mine. "I would prefer it if I was in Oasis, but that's not what the Manchester concert was about." He could have got up and done "Don't Look Back" in anger and never even had to see me. Are you telling me that if Noel Gallagher rocked up with his guitar and knocked on the door, they would say, "You're not invited, mate"? So he can FK off on that one. I don't care if he was in the Amalfi Coast or wherever, it lacked sympathy on his behalf. "We had family and friends in Manchester, and me mam's still there, and it would have been nice to do it for his people." End of. The Mancunian brothers have been estranged since 2009, enduring a number of rows during their time in Oasis before the band finally split that year. Noel admitted in a statement at the time, "It is with some sadness and great relief. I quit Oasis tonight. People will write and say what they like, but I simply could not go on working with Liam a day longer." However, Liam did recently hint at future reconciliation between the pair, admitting they had unfinished businesses to sort, but that he is still fond of his brother. Speaking to BBC Radio 1, he said, "Everyone knows I love our kid. He doesn't speak to me, we don't speak to each other. I'll speak to him someday. It's all very sad, but we'll get over it. I guess it must be nice for my mum if Oasis ever got back together. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. A lot of people go and leave it in the past. You were great then, mate. If we ever got back together, it